Welcome to How to Find Time in November. When I teach holistic time management, I keep saying that happy, energetic people will always get more done than unhappy and stressed out people. And one way we can get this happiness and the energy is by making sure that we give our bodies the fuel that it needs. So nutrition is the topic of this month's How to Find Time. So why do I pick that in November? Of course, it's valid all the months, but I pick November because in December, a lot of us are eating a lot, and a lot of the things are not necessarily good for us. And as a result, a lot of people become sick in flus, in stomach flus, in other flus in January, February, as if our bodies really want to just get rid of what we have just stuffed. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to suggest that you're not going to enjoy a lot of interesting, funny meals and a lot of extra fun dinners together with family and friends. Because as my cousin said, last time we had Christmas dinner together, it's not what we eat between Christmas and New Year that's the problem. It's what we eat between New Year and Christmas. So let's talk about that, what you normally eat, how you can normally create something that gives you energy rather than takes your energy. Now, I am not particularly interested in food. So I like the easy, natural steps that make sense. So I want to quote someone called Michael Pollan. He puts it very clearly in one of his books. And it says, eat food, not too much, mostly plants. So if we look at these three, eat food, that sounds like a no-brainer. You might think, yeah, what else would I eat? But if we look at a lot of the foods or what we eat today, it's not so much original food in there, is there? As we hear the naked chef Jamie Oliver say, some of the lists of ingredients look like a chemical description rather than a few ingredients. So the more food-like, the more real food you eat, the better it will be. Avoid the food-like substances, as Michael Pollan calls them. The other one, not too much. You might have heard about blue zones and people living long and healthily there. They have this thing, at least in some of these areas in Japan, where they eat until they are 80% full. Now, you might think, as I did when I hear that, how am I supposed to know when it's 80%? And of course, it's not an exact science, but to not fill yourself so much that you feel full is making a difference. So eat, but don't make yourself full. And finally, mostly plants. When I grew up, and I'm from Sweden, it was common to have protein, carbs, and then some greens. And those greens could typically be some lettuce, cucumbers, and tomatoes, and that was it. Nowadays, it's much easier to get really nice vegetables, and I typically make sure that my plate is filled with more than half of plants, be that beans, broccolis, or lettuce. I love lettuce, cucumbers, or whatever it is, or cabbage. But to have more than half of the plate plants is another easy way to make sure that you eat well. Another simple, or at least straightforward thing, is to look at what do we really need? Because sometimes we feel hungry, but it's not really food that we need. What do our bodies need first? Air. So sometimes if you feel like, I want to eat something, make sure that you breathe properly. It's a good thing in all kinds of ways for our health to be breathing fully and with our stomachs rather than with our chests. Next, again, it's not food that we need to survive. It's drinking is water. Sometimes you might feel hungry, but it's actually thirsty that you are. So drinking water, breathing and drinking water before you eat can be a good idea. And then you can consider eating. And when you do eat mindfully. When I was young, as I said, did not care about still barely do, but I do care about health. I would do something else while eating. I would read something, listen to something, watch something, and then just eat ramen or something, which is fine when you're young. It's like you get through most things, but your body will not accept that for too long. And then if I would have eaten something, or someone would have asked me, what did you eat? And I was like, well, I would not have known. I probably would have like ramen, I guess. What was the flavor? I don't know. So being mindful to actually taste what you eat will also change your eating experience, and your body will feel better. So that was for the November tip about how to find time, is by giving your body the kind of nutrition that it will thrive on and feel good on. And yes, do enjoy all these wonderful things you want to eat together with others in the month that's coming up now in December. But make sure that your everyday kind of eating is helpful for you, so you can be that happy, energetic person who gets a lot done in the time that she has. Good luck.